Hey, what's up, YouTubers? I just wanted to get on the video here because I did something really cool this past weekend. Raced at the 2024 GNCC Ironman, and I entered in the 4x4 40 plus class, and guess what? I took home a first place win. This is pretty awesome. So this is the first time I ever got a first place at Ironman, and you get this cool ribbon with a medallion, class winner 2024, and the scrambler held up really well. What didn't happen very well is it didn't fire off the start, and I tricked up the ECU because I was trying to hit the start button and the throttle at the same time, and it just fell flat on its face. So you'll see that in the video coming up. But yeah, this thing handled really well during the race. The only damage, and it wasn't really damage, is this thing got a little loose and it popped off and it was banging, and I knew something was loose back there, but I didn't know what it was. But it was still chugging along really good, and the only other thing I noticed was a little oil seepage around the drive axle and the rear differential. But other than that, I don't see anything broken, no flat tires. And this thing was a absolute beast with the custom Axis tires. And maybe this was supposed to happen, because check out those colors on the ribbon. It's the blue, white, and red on there, and that is the same graphic scheme that I put on the TRX 450. Let's go check it out. Yeah, so check this out. So it's the same graphic scheme with the blue, white, and red. I just thought it was a cool graphics. Maybe that was something that I was manifesting in my head, that I was gonna eventually get a ribbon from Ironman. It wasn't on this machine. This is actually had to work out some suspension things with it. Went ahead and my buddy Braden, he helped me out with his Elka Stage 5, so I'm trying them out just to see if I like them. So I'll probably have this out next weekend at IXCR's Rock Run. We'll see how the weather holds up for that. So, but yeah, pretty cool that the graphics design is similar to what the GNCC ribbon looks like. All right, we're back over at the scrambler now. Just wanted to tell you what happened. So now you can watch it all unfold on video. I think I probably only recorded about 52 minutes of the race, but I was upset. I was really upset because the quad didn't fire off the start, and there might be some bleeps in the video, but I caught up to the pack pretty quick. And then as the race unfolded, I kept checking off riders and getting through the bottlenecks and finding different lines that were a little bit smoother through the race. And when I got the white flag towards the end of the race, I was in third place. I said, well, I can't be too far from second, and so I pushed hard, and I ended up finding a guy on a 4x4 with the same color on the back of his helmet, and I made a pass on him in the creek just over there by Ironman Hill, and I just put my head down and went. And when I crossed the checkers, it said I was in first, so I must have passed somebody else, or they broke down or whatever. But this was my first place win in a GNCC, and I'm super excited that happened. I wish I could have got video of how pumped I was after the race, but yeah, check out the video. I was moving really fast. So all right, we'll catch you guys later. Enjoy. Alright guys, back on the video here. Gonna just narrate maybe the whole thing, maybe just a little bit. This is the 2024 Ironman race for the Grand National Cross Country Racing Series. There's 13 rounds. This is the last round of the year. They come to Crawfordsville, Indiana, and I entered into the 4x4 senior 40 plus class, and I'm not sure what row this is, but turn the camera on. They've already started the first couple rows. Just turn the camera on and you can hear them saying 10 seconds for every row. So we decided to come in on Wednesday evening. They open the gates Thursday at 6 p.m. We normally leave Thursday morning, and we usually get there around 9 or 10. Well, they actually opened the gates this year at 10 o'clock. So we ended up in row. They all come in with these with the campers, and they sit in line and wait till the gates open. And we were in row 8. And then when we woke up in the morning, it had doubled in size. So there was 16 rows of campers waiting to get in the gate at 6 p.m. But they did open it early at 10 a.m. So that was a good move on our part, just to spend the night in the parking lot till the next morning. So if we would have got there Wednesday afternoon around 2 o'clock, we could have made it to row 5. So maybe next year we might come in a little bit earlier on Wednesday. It didn't really make much of a difference. We still got to camp in the same spot, relatively in the same area that we have been in the past years. So, well, as you seen in the first part of this video, I did win this race. I was last off the line, so you'll get to see the troubles I had here getting this thing started. So it's been starting fine. There's that little green button there on the left is my start button. It's been you have to kind of work the button a little bit. I probably need to replace it, but you have to push the button a couple of times for it to actually engage the starter. It's an aftermarket thing that I added on there, so I can easily replace it. But the thing was starting up just fine. What I ended up doing here is I hit the start button thinking that it was fully started, and it wasn't, and I tried to hit the throttle and it tripped up the ECU, and really I had probably an 18-second delay, which is a long time to get that thing from where the green flag to having me go. So like 18 seconds is a long time. They were about to push me off the start line because they were about to start the row behind me. So they do it every 30 seconds. So I only had 10 seconds to spare before they did the 10-second call. And actually, you can kind of hear it in the video. When I hit the second turn is when they hit the 10 seconds for the row behind me. So, but I never really saw them. I was so upset that it didn't start. I was just trying to stay focused, and I was going as fast as I could to try to catch up to some of the guys in my row. And looking at the lap times from the race, it looks like I could have done really well anyways with these guys, but it's possible that I could have gotten caught up in some different bottlenecks as well. So alright, so here we go. I believe there's a row, so they split the rows left and right. Yeah, so the yellow tape goes across our row. There's a row to the right of us, and they go before we do. Alright, now is our turn. And you'll see here how I totally screw this up. So yeah, you can hear my family cheering me on there. They were like, "What is going on? Why are you taking so long?" And so I was had my butt completely in the wheel well. My butt was in on the foot pegs, out on the turns, trying to go as fast as I could, rail around those turns so that I could catch up to this pack. And here I'm already catching up to the guys in the first section of the woods. Here's the first two from my row that I caught up to. There are a couple of broken down quads, but this is a short little section of the woods that I came through. I was still pretty hot, and I knew I was at least 15 to 20 seconds behind.
God damn it!
So yeah, you can see just yelled out GD because I'm upset about what just happened. So this actually kind of lit a fire under me to go faster. So open up some clean hair here, and again got my butt down in the fender well. And I'm just saying, come on, quad, let's go. There was a section here that you could go to the right over that tree, but it was a big drop off, so I never took that at all, any of the laps, because I think you had to more or less jump it. But short little section, come out in the open area, and now I'm catching up. I see some quads, so it's starting to motivate me to go faster. So I can't tell if that's a sport quad. Yeah, so he's having some issues. Because sport quads were at least a row or two in front of us. I think there was at least 2 4x4 rows before. I don't remember seeing a sport quad row, so I must be having some kind of issues there. It's another good section through the woods, and then it opens up into another field and another wood section. But you can see how I'm pushing pretty hard, and I did eventually on this first lap, because my adrenaline was flowing so hard that I ended up getting a little bit of arm pump. So here's another catching up to another Polaris scrambler. This guy was right next to me on the line, so we were looking at each other's Polaris scramblers, because we were the only two, I think, in our line that were racing scramblers. So I couldn't get by him in this open field, and basically I was right on him through this wood section, and then I found an opportunity to get by him, and then he passed me because I picked a line. I was going to go up this hill, and there was a Renegade coming down the hill, so I don't know what the deal was with that, but I had to come back and pass this guy again. So I'll let you watch this a little bit until we can get past him. Alright, right up here, there's a little bit of a bottleneck in a tight section of woods, and he goes to the right, I go to the left, and that was my opportunity to get by him there. So that was worked out pretty good for me. This is a little tight section here, and then we end up going into an open field, and then really start opening it up again to try to catch some more of these 4x4s. I've raced and been around on this property for almost 20 years, so I kind of knew where this track was going, that this was where nobody was going, and then here I'm trying to climb this hill, and I look up, and here's this renegade coming down the hill, and I'm like, what? Did he go up there? Was there a down tree, or what was going on? So he pointed over, go this way. So I went up here, but I looked over to my right and there was no tree there.
When I was trying to go up.
I said, he's going down the hill while I'm trying to go up. Well, that
Damn it.
scrambler who I worked to get by got by me again. So I have to now work to get that position back. Alright, so I caught back up to the guy on the scrambler again. That renegade, whoever that was, had already checked out, so he must have been a B or an A class rider, or who knows what class he was in. But right here at mile marker 3, this is the infamous Twin Hills, and this was a very steep, rocky uphill right here. There's a little rock shelf there, and that's why it was so bouncy. But caught up to the scrambler here, and then get through this short section of woods here, and then it opens up onto the motocross track. Just for for a second there, and I thought, well, maybe I can get by him on this track here, but he was on the throttle in the open stuff. He was just a little bit slower in the woods. So, but I did put some pressure on him, and he realized, he looked over his shoulder. It looks like he's got some arm pump going on. He just shook his right butt. Showing him my wheel there. He knows I'm there. So, here he's pointing to the left. Go. And I said, all right, take it. So, I got by him again, and now I need to find the next one and pick them off and keep on going. I wasn't a big fan of this back and forth serpentine kind of deal what they had going on here. Later in the race, that section got really rutted out, but I just felt like the back and the forth of the 180s was a little excessive. Wasn't my favorite part of the track at all. I'm more of going straight and trying to get around these trees and stuff. Like this section here is pretty fun. But just going back and forth to make the track longer, I could do without that part. So just cleaning off the camera. This camera view is a little bit different than what I'm normally run. I normally have the camera on my visor on my helmet, and GNCC runs with AMA, the American Motorcycle Association. And they have a rule that amateurs are not allowed to wear a camera on their helmet. So I have the camera mounted to a GoPro chesty, which is why you're getting a different view, which are allowed. The reason they say that the camera can't be on the helmet is it changes the shape of the helmet. If you were to take an impact, it could cause a neck injury. I call BS. I think if you hit that hard, you're probably going to get a brain injury anyway, not necessarily a neck injury. But I do wear a neck brace, a race collar, so that also helps if you do happen to crash. Your helmet hits those and helps protect your neck. So this was a pretty good section here. I forgot to mention it rained Friday, and thank goodness it did, because these track conditions ended up turning out pretty good. So during the race, there was the track was pretty good, not really dusty, but there were some sections where the sun was shining down pretty good, and it did get dusty, like out in these fields and stuff. But for the most part, the dirt was really good. I did have a few sport quads pass me here on the first lap, but I was moving at a pretty good pace, so it seemed like I was overcoming more of the quads than some of them overtaking me. But I did notice on the last lap there was a couple of longer lines of sport quads that had bunched up, so that would have been on the fourth lap. But this first lap I was moving at a pretty good pace, clipping off these riders. So this is a pretty steep downhill here. Just right on the left here is Ironman Hill. We didn't go up it, but this section right here is where I made the pass for first on the last lap. So the guy who I caught up to, he went through that section really slow, and I went full throttle, and I passed him on the left, and I might have splashed him with some water as I went by, but that's where I took the lead, I believe, in the last lap. This was a section. I went to the right, but there was a line to the left, and this guy popped up out of there, and I said, oh yeah, oh hey, it's Stars and Stripes guy. And I was like, all right, well, I'll hit that line on the second lap. So that was just one of those mental notes. You know, when you're racing and you get past and you see like one line's faster than the other. So I knew from here on I'll take that lap. I was just commenting, like, being in this area, they had us looping around. It was kind of crazy how they had us moving. If you go to the left there, that would be the big Ironman hill. This is the where the pass goes under the bridge, under the road there. And then come over to this creek section that's coming up. This is a little tight right here. There's a little natural jump right here. Yeah, took a little jump there. So I did ride my bike down to this area the day before, and to the left, usually it got a little deep, but I didn't think a lot of people would see taking this right line, but they did. And I took this the first lap and the second lap, and I noticed that it was getting pretty gnarly. So the third and fourth lap, I actually went to the left, and it was a lot smoother. So it looks like a majority of the people were taking that line. And it turns out that the left line turned out to be a little bit faster because it was smoother. So I had made a couple of passes there on the third and fourth lap. This was a pretty cool section. You came down a hill, and then there was two lines out of a mud hole. First two laps I went to the right here, and then it was getting pretty gnarly, and then I went to the left line after that. This section here coming up, I did not like it. Just a little one line left and right kind of deal. There was bricks and rocks and slabs of concrete and whatever else was in here. I don't know, I could just care less for that type of stuff. So come back out into this open field. So these turns were, they didn't have any big berms on them yet, but as the race went on, they got really choppy. So like sometimes I would go on the outside of the berms just to find a smoother line, and I was actually moving through the field sections a little bit quicker when I was going to the outside of the berms. This guy, I went by him, I felt bad, but I was like, I can't stop. Oh, this bump right here that got pretty gnarly. So I hit that the first and second lap, but not the third and fourth, because it kind of would jar my shoulder a little bit. I was just saying, when I came out and went to the open field, I could see people. So when you can see people in front of you, it motivates you because you want to go faster so you can catch them. As we get in this section, I see there's people stopped, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to go around you and make my own line. So we ended up cutting through here, made a new line, smashed a little tree there, and just kept on going. So from what I saw there, it looked like a guy had stalled his machine in the main line, and he was trying to get it restarted, and people didn't know how to get around him. So that's the thing about these races, is you got to just keep going forward, try not to stop, make the least amount of mistakes during the race, because that literally can be first to second place. And I think because I didn't run a perfect race, obviously, because I didn't start right off the beginning, so I was 20 seconds behind off the start. Made a mistake, with that Renegade, which I didn't feel like that was totally my fault, but that was definitely a mistake because I had to stop and back up. But other than that, I can't recall any other time where I made any other bottlenecks or mistakes where I was held up for any amount of time. So I wouldn't call this a perfect race, but it was pretty darn good. And the good thing about this track is there's so many different lines that if you had a stopped rider or something, you can find a new line or somewhere to get around. So just trying new things, trying to take different lines to see what's faster, watching what other riders are doing. That's and knowing this property. Like I said, I've been racing on it for 20 years. Been all around this property on a bike and racing it, so things look familiar. And when you see the arrows on the trees and where we're at, everything becomes familiar. This guy passed me earlier in the race, and then I must have passed him somewhere, and then now he passed me back. So So this is the tree line working the south side of the property, and I know that we're cutting across the top of the ravine, and then that'll shoot back down. So we'll come and get back down to the main area where the motocross track is. So we should be hitting a bridge here, and then it'll take us back up to the main area, and then we cut across the back section of the east section of the woods. I say the back, but the back part of the racetrack. So we're on the last, I think it's a 10 or 12 mile track, somewhere around there. So you'll see the numbers in the woods. So it should be around 8 or 9 right now. So coming through here. Just the other side of this fence on the left is the pro pits for the ATVs, so we actually will go by them on our way back, which will be right towards the end of the first lap here. So come down here, there's another bridge, and then a tight section of woods and another bridge. And that'll lead us back to the first lap. As we just got to the section, I just remembered I made a mistake here. I went to the left, and when I got up here, I thought these trees are too narrow. And I was looking to the left. I'm like, I don't think I can fit through these trees, and I was able to sneak by it. I mean, it was wheel to wheel, but yeah, I should have went to the right. You can see this big line of sport quads just past me. Yeah, so the next 3 laps I went to the right, so I didn't go through that little narrow section. This is a area where we usually pit at for the sport quads, that little grassy area. Our camper was really close to that section of the track there. This section here, it was really rocky. You can see the quads bouncing around pretty good there. It got pretty rutted out with a lot of bigger rocks getting exposed, but good thing I have custom access shocks on there on all four corners. They were taking a beating, and I got the Ape flex bars. This was a pretty cool hill going up right here. It doesn't seem like it's much, but it's just a short little straight uphill. So here's that section along the fence we're coming up to here, and you can see that mile marker 12 just was on there, so should be getting close to the end here where we get onto the motocross track for a little bit. But just to the right there, that's where the ATV Pro pits would be. We'll get in this little short section of woods here. There's a little kind of a downhill jump here. As the race went on, I was getting a little bit faster, but kind of jumped down that hill. And then this pops out onto the motocross track, and then that'll end the first lap, at least to the finish line anyways. And then we'll tie back in. I'll show you back where we tie into the beginning. Can't see what color. The guy's having trouble. Something going on with this quad. It's either in limp mode or doing something. Alright, these are the chicanes going into the finish line area. And then we pop back out on the motocross track for a little bit before we get back to where we started at. So I'm in 6th place right now on the first lap. There was 10 in our class, so I moved up 4 positions. I believe in the second lap I moved up to 5th, and then the third lap I was up to 3rd, and the last lap I finished in 1st. So pretty good progression through the race. Total race time was 2 hours and 20 minutes, which is one of the longer races. I normally race for an hour and a half, and I raced for 2 hours and 20 minutes, and actually I was feeling pretty good. Even the last 2 laps, felt like I still had a lot of energy to keep on racing. So we get in this, we're back to the start line area now, and this little short section here will tie in to where we started. What they did here is there was a line to the right that you go over like 3 logs, or you can go to the left and then just kind of go around it. I didn't feel like there was a big time advantage to go over the logs, but I did go over it I think in the 3rd lap because the ruts in the mulch were getting pretty deep, and it was getting kind of backed up. So here's where we started the race, so we tied back in. Alright, so I'm not going to narrate any more of the race. There's probably only about 7 minutes or 8 minutes left of this race, but I did get 1st in class and 161st overall. Just want to thank everybody for watching my videos, and if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen my videos, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, because I pretty much put all my races on YouTube, just document and know how I'm doing, and people seem to enjoy them because I can make some different lines and see how I can make passes and go through bottlenecks, and it's a good videos to watch. So Alright guys, take care, and we'll see you in about a week. I'm going to the last IXCR race in Rock Run in where is that at? Rockville, Indiana. I'll probably be on the TRX 450 as long as the weather holds out, but if it's muddy, I'll break out the Scrambler again. I can't really decide. I think I'm the same speed on both, but my physical endurance on the Scrambler is better because I sit up a little bit higher. The Sport Quad, I'm more of in a crouched position that I'm not used to, so I'm trying to get my endurance back up to doing the Sport Quad. So I'll be doing probably more Sport Quad next year for Midwest XC racing. I believe I'll be in the 40 plus class because I don't want to do 4x4 there. I'll break out the 4x4 if it's going to be a muddy race or if I'm doing a national race, because this quad's set up for basically doing national races where it's a little bit more open. So, all right, guys, take care, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Smash subscribe. Yeah. #1, baby. Ironman 2024.